All right, these showed up on my doorstep today. I got two big boxes, and they were both together in one big giant box, so it was pretty exciting. So what are they? Well, they're antennas, but it says amplified on this one. These were sent in the channel by a company called ANTOP. If I'm right, I believe it's based in Shenzhen, but they've been in Southern California for quite a while now. I think they actually do some other things there as well. So I think they know something about RF. And they wanted to know if I wanted to review these things. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a review and teardown. And since there's two of these things, we're going to do one at a time. I think we'll save this one for tomorrow. Okay. So 85 miles. Don't know how you test that. Multi-directional. So I don't know which directions are multiple. Amplified. Okay, smart pass technology. So we'll take a look at what smart pass might mean. More channels with UHF and VHF technology, so it's dual band. And this is kind of confusing. It says 4K and 8K compatible. I'm not sure what an antenna has to do with compatibility of... It's probably the amplifier. The amplifier probably has to have a certain bandwidth, I would suppose. So that's probably what that is. But yeah, take a look at all of the sponsors here. NPC, CB. These are all the people you get with your antenna. Look at that. What if they had to pay for that? Or you can just use this. I don't think you could use these things. Anyway, I think these antennas are sold at Home Depot. So I think these were delivered by the local Home Depot people. So we will review this one tomorrow because check this one out. Oh man, this one looks space age. Definitely space age. Look at that. Woo. So definitely want to take a look at this one. This one's only 55 to 65 miles, so the other one seems to be better. Outdoor. Are these both outdoor? Outdoor, indoor. This one says outdoor attic. Doesn't say indoor. Interesting. I guess it might be a bit obtrusive hanging on your wall. Your wife might not take too kindly of that, but unless your wife is very advanced. Okay, so this is the one we're going to take a look at today. So let me rearrange the camera because these things are just too big and I'm in the way, and yeah. All right, where's the Gozinza? Guess it's over here. These flaps out. Problems or questions? Call. They have a number to call. Very nice. Ooh, wow. Okay. Got some coax. 75 ohm, of course. We got a dongle, which has an on-off button. And it has a DC connector, and it says 2 antenna and 2 TV. So this must be the amplifier. A box of stuff, some mounting brackets, part of the antenna. Here's the flying saucer part. This is the kind of antenna you put up to scare your neighbors. You're gonna point it right at them like you're listening to everything they're saying. That would be good. All right. What else do we have? And then the big mounting bracket, okay? So we'll just kind of keep that over here on the side. Looks like it goes there, but you have to remove some screws and then put them back in again. Let's see if we want to do that, or do we want to open it up first? I say we kind of just hold it there so you can get an idea of what it's going to look like. So it's going to look like this. So sort of looks like a vertical with radials, right? Or some type of folded open vertical. Not really a disc cone. It could be like an inverted disc cone, but I don't think so. Uses an F connector here and uses an F connector underneath. Made in China. UFO. Ah, UFO, cool. Omnidirectional Smart Pass amplified. Smart Pass. I guess you'll pass the amplifier if you don't need it and use it if you do need it? I don't know. Outdoor RV attic HDTV antenna, and there's a whole bunch of screws. So I say, let's find the appropriate tool. All right, get this knife out of the way so I don't stab myself. And where are we going to put these screws? How about over there? All right. All right. Do we think that is enough? Will it open up? Or is there something under here that keeps us from opening it? Or is it weather sealed? It's probably weather sealed. So we will probably have to damage it to open it up. But you know what? That's okay with me. That is okay with me. Oh, there we go. Oh, not so bad. Not too much damage there. Look at that. Oh, excellent. All right. All right, let's change you a bit. All right, so if we look underneath, we have our antenna on the top, tiny little ground plane on that. But then look at this thing. What is this? Whoa, very cool. Oh, this is super cool. All right, we'll have some fun with this thing. Try to figure out how it goes. This is very interesting. There's definitely some antenna design in this thing. I think we can just pull this off here. Let's see. All right, so we have a F connector here that screws into this thing, and then our little quarter wave thing goes on the top. And a tiny little ground plane for some reason, maybe just for mounting, but might be for electrical reasons as well. Let me find a place to put this. All right. Now we can get into the nitty-gritty, which is very interesting. All right, so it is omnidirectional, but it's done so in quadrants. You can see there's a piece here. So this is one part of an antenna, and then it goes in, and here's another one, and here's another one, and here's another one. So 1, 2, 3. So there's six segments going around this thing, and that goes to the PC board inside. So we'll eventually get to that thing. And then on the top, we have a similar setup. We have one piece here, and then another piece here. And you say, well, there's only 3 of those. But if you look underneath, I know it's going to be hard to see, but you'll have to trust me. There's another one here. So one on this side, and then one on the other side, then one on this side, and then one on the other side. And everything is going back. And they are phased on top of these things, so very interesting. I want to get to that. I want to get to that PC board down there. Let's take a look at that. I think what we need to do is take these little guys out here. So let's see, what size are they? Ooh. Right. This is still sort of attached. All right. Can you see in there? Yeah, you can see in there. So there's a PC board down here, and a little coax from this thing going down. And so the way that this thing is phased is these three are on one side of the coax, and these three are on the other side of the coax. Interesting. Does that make sense? These three all are electrically connected here, and then the ones that are on the bottom side are all electrically connected to another little ring down here. And then the coax comes up and solders, braid to one side and center connected to the other side. So these guys are opposite phase. All right. And I want to get down to that PC board. How am I going to film that with this top thing in the way? Can I get that off? There's all kinds of elastic on it too. That's kind of interrupting things here. I think what I'll do is, let me reach inside here with my cell phone. Let me see if I can't get a good picture of it, and then we can just kind of talk about it from there. Ah, yes. And I don't think there's there's no components on the bottom side. All right. So now we can just put up the picture here, and we can take a look. D2 must be a diode. DU1 must be an amplifier. D1 a diode. Q1 transistor. Yeah, I don't think there's too much going on this board, just an amplifier. No, I'm not going to trace out this board. So the interesting thing would be, since the amplifier is up here, what did the board, this little dongle do? It says on and off. So it probably just allows the DC to go on the center conductor or not. So it either powers this thing up or not. And it's probably smart that if it's not powered up, it has a pass-through. And if it is powered up, then it has an amplifier. So that's probably the smart part of this thing. And that way you can have the amplifier at the antenna. That's where you want it. You want the amplifier as close to the input as you can. I did a video once on noise figure and stuff, and you definitely want the amplifier as close as you can to the source. And the source is these antenna pieces. And having the amplifier up here, instead of at the very end of the coax, like before it runs to your TV, no, that's not a good place to have it. You want it here, so that's been done correctly. All right. Yeah, more interesting than I thought it was going to be. Maybe we can open up this little box too, but I'm pretty sure that's all it does. I don't know if I can open this up or not. I think this is glued shut, but I think that's what's going on here. And now I've just lost the phasing of everything. Since I moved it around, I'll have to go back and look at the video, figure out where this thing goes back on, and if it matters. It might not actually matter, but it might, and probably does. So I will go back and determine the correct phasing of this thing. All right, so if we take a look at the specifications of this antenna, it's, like I said, a dual band antenna. So one of the bands is 87 to 230 megahertz. So it does reach FM broadcast, which is nice. So 87 to 230. And then the other is 470 to 790. So that is why there is a big ring down here and a small ring down here. So this is band 1, this is band 2, right? So this is the higher frequency and this is the lower frequency. And then they have the accompaniment of vertical on the top. My understanding, if I remember right, is that television stations are elliptically polarized. So there's some information horizontal and then a little bit vertical. But Could be wrong on that one, but that, with the new standards out and stuff. But I think that's the way it used to be. It says that there's a 20 dB gain with the switch off and a 30 dB gain with the switch on. Ah, so that's what that does. So high, low, not really on, off, but the amplifier, or are they taking into account the gain of the antenna? I don't know. So either the amplifier itself is just a 10 dB amplifier, which it might be, or it's both a 20 dB and 30 dB with the switch. So I'm not quite sure about that. Output level 100 dB microvolts, noise figure less than 5 dB, 75 ohms, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, so I think what we'll do is let's put it back together and hook it up to the spectrum analyzer, see if we can see any on-air signals. Well, probably should cinch that down with some pliers. All right. And I don't think it really matters how this goes on as long as I've lined up with some holes, which is kind of hard to see. Nothing on the outside that will tell me that. So let's reach in and make the holes go where they're supposed to go. There we go. Right. Put them together. So the antenna, on top, so the series of brass inserts here, so that will know it's touch. Let's see. Should we go in that direction? All right, so this should be mounted outdoors, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to kind of bounce it up here on my shelf. And let's see, let's balance it over here, just like that. And we'll get out our, I assume this is the power adapter for the preamp. Yep, it is 12 volts, 200 milliamps. All right, so we have it hooked up. I'm spanning 87 to 230 megahertz, so that's the low band for the antenna. And we're seeing some activity here. This is all of the FM stations. I'm not quite sure what that is. Let's put a marker over there. Oh, I'm changing the wrong thing. I'm changing reference level. Here we go, reference level. Let's lock down the reference level. Let's go to the marker. There we go. So there's some activity here around 124. So that might be the aviation band there. So, oh, it might be a good antenna for amplifying the aviation band. Huh. Might think about that. Anyway, so if you watch the, let's go ahead and change the marker. Let's put the marker over here to marker to stop. Yeah, there we go. So you can see the some of the stations there. And if I take the switch and I turn the switch off, you can see everything goes down 10 dB, right? Up, switch on, switch off, switch on, switch off. So it's a 10 dB gain here in the amplifier. And let's go ahead and set a center frequency to the rock and roll station here. And let's span narrow, and there it is, doing its FM thing. So yeah, I don't really have the right equipment to test antennas with, so I think this is probably going to have to do. I might go ahead and put this thing outside and run the long coax inside, but I'm sure it would. I'm sure it would do the job. It seems to do working great here on the FM band, so that's interesting. Oh, and the aviation. Yeah, interesting. Okay, that's my review of the ANTOP television antenna. And like I said, it does cover different bands too, FM and aviation and things like that, so it might be a good thing for that. Certainly is well constructed and has a very, very interesting design inside, which I imagine probably does get the job done. So it's nice that it's unidirectional. A lot of the antennas you see for television are have a reflector on one side, so you're only really limiting the sky to one half of what you're looking at. Whereas this is completely omnidirectional. So if you really don't know where you are, like if you're in an RV and you don't really know where the best stations are, you put one of these up and it catches it in all directions. So that might be good.